This is Just Man Up, episode number 10, which is awesome, man. It's crazy to think that I just started this thing. We're already on episode 10, and today's topic is going to be one that I'm super passionate about, and I just love talking about, especially with my team of coaches and the customers that I coach, and that's excuses, but more specifically, the excuse of not having enough money. So I'm just going to jump right into it. What you got to understand is about me, and a lot of you guys already know this about me because I see a lot of coaches joining. I see a lot of my customers. You guys know I do my best to live an excuse-free life. I feel like that if you really want to have success with your fitness, if you really want to have success with business, that is the only way to do this. Okay, so I was asked to speak on a call for we're doing some really cool group for a bunch of people that are pushing for a higher rank in our business, and I was asked to open up and do the call for the first call for this group. And one of the things that I talked about was the importance of not making excuses. And I asked my coach, who's been around for a long time, and she's been coaching me for the last 9 years. And I said, Barbie, I said, have you ever, and I want you to be honest with me here, have you ever heard me make an excuse? And she got on and she's like, no. And she's like, guys, this is the one thing about Josh that I can just most certainly 100% vouch for. He is not a guy of excuses. And you want to know why I'm in the shape I am and how I've been able to battle this disease. And for those of you who don't know, I've been battling Lyme disease for a couple years now. I've almost completely healed from this disease, and how I've had so much success with business and so much success with my relationship with my kids and my wife. It's because I literally live an excuse-free life. And what that means is that I take responsibility, personal responsibility for everything that happens in my life. Okay. And it's super important to understand that if you want to have the same type of success that I've had, and again, it's not just like with business or fitness or anything like that. It could be with anything, with your relationship, your friendships. You've got to just take responsibility and understand that everything that happens in your life it goes back to you. You have to just own that. Own that your life, you are where you are today because of what you've done to this point. And that's right there. That is one thing that is super hard for people to think about and to acknowledge, because you don't want to admit that you're in a shitty position because of the things that you've done. It's easy to blame other things. It's easy to blame other people. It's easy to blame a business. It's easy to come up with excuses as to why you can't succeed. All right. And it's funny because I just was writing in my Just Man Up book. And by the way, that book is coming along just absolutely incredible. I'm super excited to release it to you guys. I am going to get it published. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking me that. I am going to get the book published. I think it's going to be incredible. I'm so excited. But one of the things that I talked about was, living an excuse-free life. And I talked about the definition. Like, I came up with this just absolutely incredible definition for excuses. And I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something along the lines of, excuses are something that you create in your own mind to make yourself feel better for your lack of success or the things that you fail with. All right. And it was so good of a definition that in the book itself, I'm like, damn, that needs to be in a dictionary or something. So, and that's what people don't understand, is that the excuses that they're making in their life is ultimately holding them back from ever achieving any type of success. Okay. So I think in one of the first episodes of the Just Man Up show, I talked about the excuse of time, and I just completely busted that excuse by using personal experience. So today in this episode 10, it's the excuse of money. I don't have enough money. And it's so crazy to me because this is one of the main ones as a fitness coach that I hear constantly from a lot of people, and not just with the people that I coach, but with the coaches that are on my team as well in regarding the business. So those are the two areas that I really want to focus on right now. Is I don't have the money in terms of fitness, and I don't have money in terms of the business. And I'm going to use personal stories from each to kind of bust each of those excuses. So if you guys have people that you think would be, would benefit from listening to this call right now, there's a way for you to share this. I'd love for you to share it. I think it can be extremely beneficial for people. You can tag people below, whatever, but I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. So the excuse of money when it comes to fitness. For those of you who are fitness coaches, and maybe you're someone who is not a coach and you're going through a personal change in your life with your own health, I'm sure you've come across or you've used the excuse that I don't have enough money to eat organic, or I don't have enough money to afford this equipment, or I don't have enough money to afford this supplement, or I don't have enough money to afford this home workout program, which obviously is in the case with us in Beachbody programs. And I want to remind people of where I came from and how I got started, and what people, it's funny because people see where I am today and they automatically think, well, you just have had it easy your entire life. And honestly, that's just not the case. It's not the truth. In fact, when people come to me with the excuse if I don't have the money, that's the one I get like this big ass smile on my face, because it's the one that I'm super, super passionate about. Because I don't know if you guys knew this, but Melinda and I, for about 2 years, we were struggling as bad as anybody can struggle financially. I remember living in our 1-bedroom apartment, and you guys, gosh dang, you've heard this story so many times. Living in our 1-bedroom apartment, and her and I were sleeping on a couch just so Madison could have our only bedroom. We could barely afford the rent for this house. I mean, we could barely afford our bills. It was $50, $100, maybe less in our bank account at a time. It was, are we going to have enough money to even pay our rent this month? Or are we going to have to push back our bills? Or are we going to have enough money to pay for my student loans? This is something that we went through just constantly. And we were actually on government support. Melinda was on government support, and it supported our family. Thank God for that, because it supported our family when we were going through one of the toughest times of their entire lives, right? So I remember going into a grocery store and not being able to afford the formula for our daughter. And I'm telling you guys, like, I get it. When people tell me they're struggling financially, you're talking to someone who totally understands what it feels like to be in that position. It is the worst feeling that you get in your stomach. And I'm telling you, it's like somebody just took their fist and just punched you as hard as they could in your gut, and it feels like shit. And this is how you feel on a constant daily basis, day by day, week by week, month by month. You feel like you've been punched in the gut because you feel like you're letting your family down. You feel like you're letting yourself down. And that is how I felt for a long, long time. And it is not a good feeling. But here's what I had to keep reminding myself, that if I didn't change, if I didn't do something different in my life, if I didn't do something different with my health, I was going to have to find a way. I was going to have to change, because if I didn't do something different, I was going to continue having the same results, is what I'm saying. And there was no way that I could continue having the same results with my health, with my finances, with my business, with the things we were going through in my life. So I found a way to make it happen. And the thing is, I had to invest in my health. And why did I have to invest in my health? Because it was important for my business. And not only that, though, and this is super crucial as well, it's not just for my business. I wasn't doing these things and using these supplements and programs for my business. I was doing it because I understood the importance of being healthy for my family, of being healthy for my kids, of being a positive example for my kids. So in terms of priorities, could I afford to do these programs? Could I afford to use Shakeology? Could I afford to do this stuff? Absolutely not. But it was an absolute priority for me. I did it because I understood the importance of it. So what does that mean? In my view, there are so many different ways that you can afford something. So many different things that you can do to find the money to afford something, especially when it comes to your health. Guys, this is what drives me so crazy when I talk to people about this. When they say they can't afford organic food or they can't afford the programs, my question to them is, can you afford not to? And the answer to that, absolutely 100% of the time, is no, because it's a narrow-minded thinking. They only think about what's right in front of them, and that's the cost of the program, the cost of this stuff initially. They don't think about what's going to happen 10, 20, 30 years down the road if they don't make these changes in their health now. You think this shit's expensive? Wait until you see your medical bills when you're going through cancer treatment, or when you're dealing with high blood pressure or clogged arteries. You think this shit's expensive now. You wait until that happens to you, and you're going to look back and you're going to be like, well, motherfucker, here I am, and I can't even, like, you're going to be like, I wish I would have done this stuff. I wish I would have done this stuff back then. And there's so many people that I know who have gotten to that point. They look back and they regret the decisions that they didn't make. They look back and regret the excuses that they made, that they couldn't afford something. And I don't know about you guys, but I refuse to be that person. I will never be that person. Could I afford it back then? Absolutely not. But you know what I did to afford it? I found different ways. There was shit I sold all over for eBay. There were things that I would do. Instead of buying groceries just like one by one, we'd buy them in massive bulks so that we could save $10, $20, $30 at a time. And I could take that money. Guys, just a little bit of things that you do adds up. And I could take that money and I can apply it to what I needed to do for my health. Or I could apply it to purchasing organic stuff. There's so many things, and it's so narrow-minded for people to think that they can't get out of the situation. There's a million different things. Guys, there's websites now. I don't know if you knew this, but there's websites to where you literally can be your own boss, and you can go on there and just provide any type of service to people for a charge. If you're really good at, I don't know, let's say that you're really good at graphics or web design or something, you can go on Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, which I use all the time. You can go on Fiverr.com and you could just put your services out there. Be like, listen, hey, $20 for a logo or $30 or $40 for a logo. The point is there's so many different things that you can do to find the money, to make money. So many different things. But too many people are like, well, I just can't afford it. And they go back to their crappy lifestyle and they continue doing the same things. And then when they're 55 years old, they're going to their doctor who's telling them they're obese. They can't do anything with their grandchildren because they can't move. They have this cane. See, people are they don't think about these kind of things. So if you're sitting there and saying, well, I just can't afford it, that's just a bullshit excuse. You can afford it. There's different ways that you can find ways to afford it. And when it comes to your health, you absolutely 100% have to make an investment in your health, whether you think so or not. It is crucial, absolutely crucial. I can say the same thing about business. And there's a lot of people who, they come up with the same excuse. Well, I can't afford to invest in my business. I can't afford to start up a business, or I can't afford to do the personal development, to travel to events. And again, to me, this is just bullshit excuses. And this is just incredible narrow-minded thinking. Because my view, again, is if we do the same things, we're going to continue getting the same results. So if we really want things to change, we're going to have to find ways to invest in ourselves. Guys, you have to invest in yourself. Absolutely 100% have to invest in yourself. And there's so many people that get involved in business who just don't understand that or don't get that. If you don't invest in yourself, you're not growing as a person and your business is never going to grow. When I first started Beachbody Coaching, you guys knew this, and I just shared this story. I was struggling financially. For a year and a half, 2 years, I couldn't afford to do anything, but I found the ways to do it. And you ask anybody, man, I found ways to afford gas. I just sold shit, whatever I had to do to afford gas to get to every single Beachbody event that I could within a 300-mile radius. I mean, I'm telling you, I was at everything because I understood the importance of getting these events and getting a return and what it was going to do for me on a personal level and what it was going to do for me for my business as well. So I found ways to make it happen, to get to these events. And I found ways to invest in myself, invest in different trainings, invest in personal development books. And everything that I've invested in over the years, I've got just an incredible return on every single thing that I've invested in. Like Facebook ad training, there's so much stuff that I've invested in that has brought me 10 times the amount that I actually initially invested. So when people tell me, well, I don't have the money to invest in my business, again, it's just, I don't believe that. And that's all going back to personal experience, because I didn't have the money, but I found a way to make it happen. And you look at where I am today. There's a reason why I am today, is because I didn't use these as excuses. So, I mean, that's it. I hope you guys understand that. This is super, super important. If you really, really want to succeed with your health, with your business, with your relationships, you've got to eliminate the excuses. And very specifically with the fitness and the business, you have to get rid of the excuse of, I don't have the money. So anytime you tell yourself that, you're going to have to stop yourself mid-sentence in your mind and say, wait a minute, like Josh said, this is a bullshit excuse. And it really is, guys. It really is. So listen, if you guys have any questions for me, you can email me, josh@joshspencerfitness.com. You can reach out to me here on Facebook. My page, by the way, is facebook.com/joshspencerfitness. And I'm going to be posting a lot more stuff over there, so you guys can check that out. My website is joshspencerfitness.com. But again, I mean, I'm here to help. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll have episode number 11 soon. See you guys.